Narendra Modi holds meeting with PMO officials, tells them to give importance to states' concern to strengthen federal structure. New Agriculture Minister Radha Mohan Singh announces new programs for village irrigation and welfare of small farmers. Says will announce new minimum support prices soon. Supreme Court quashes Delhi High Court order and allows plea of Reliance Industries for arbitration in London in its dispute with the centre on Panna Mukta Tapi gas basin. And markets and flat. Sensex gains just 7 points to end at 24,556 levels. Nifty gains 12 points. The market breadth ends strong. Well, hello and welcome to Business Wrap. I am Sidhant Sibal and let's begin the bulletin. The Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi held a preliminary meeting with PMO officials today. PMO officials made a detailed presentation on the structure and functions of the PMO. During the course of the meeting, the Prime Minister stressed upon the need to resolve the people's grievances on fast-track basis. He emphasized to leverage modern technology and develop systems and processes for effective monitoring and resolution of issues which are particularly brought to his office. He also stated that over the past several decades, PMO has evolved as an important institution and its best practices should be carried forward. The Prime Minister also indicated that he would like his office to consider issues, especially those raised by the states, on priority with sensitivity. He added that this is an important because India's progress lies in the progress of states and this would strengthen our federal structure. He also underscored the importance of addressing concerns raised by people's representatives personally or through parliamentary procedures. On to other story, Radha Mohan Singh has taken over as the new Agriculture Minister. In his first press briefing after taking over as the Agriculture Minister, Radha Mohan Singh has announced new programs for village irrigation and welfare of small farmers. The minister also said that the new minimum support prices for farmers will be announced soon.
पहली बार अब इसको एक ऐसा प्रधानमंत्री मिला है जो गांव गरीब और किसान की पीड़ा को सिर्फ देखा नहीं भोगा, सिर्फ सुना नहीं है, स्वयं भोगा। तो हम सब सौभाग्यशाली हैं, उनके नेतृत्व में हम सबको काम करने का अवसर मिलेगा और देश को मजबूत बनाना है, संपन्न बनाना है, तो निश्चित रूप से किसान को, गांव को संपन्न बनाना पड़ेगा, मजबूत बनाना पड़ेगा।
Well, the Union Cabinet has been postponed till 11 a.m. tomorrow. The meeting will decide on the date of inaugural session of the 16th Lok Sabha. This session, expected to commence from next month, will also discuss the process of election of a speaker and other formalities for the constitution of the new Lok Sabha. The first session will witness election of the new speaker and the joint address by the president to the two houses. The government is likely to begin the budget session in the coming July. In the relief to Reliance Industries, the Supreme Court on Wednesday allowed arbitration in London between the firm and the centre over royalties and taxes in the Panna, Mukta and Tapi oil and gas fields. These oil and gas fields are located on the western coast. The Supreme Court also ruled that the arbitration will be held according to Indian law. Reliance had sought the arbitration to be conducted according to the United Nations Commission on International Trade. Mukesh Ambani's Reliance Industries had approached the Supreme Court for settlement of the issue with the Oil Ministry over reimbursement of royalties, taxes in the Panna, Mukta and Tapi fields through arbitration in London. On to market action, key benchmark indices eked out with small gains after moving in a narrow range throughout the trading session. Well, Sensex gained 7 points to end at 24,556, while NSE Nifty ended at 73.30, up 12 points. Shares of private sector banks edged higher. PSU bank stocks decline. IT stocks rose on good US economic data. Gainers on the chart were Tata Power, HDFC Bank, Hero MotoCorp, Bharti Airtel and Dr. Reddy's Lab, which were up by between 4 to 1%. Losers on the chart were Coal India, ONGC, Mahindra & Mahindra, GAIL India and NTPC, which were up by between 3 to 1%. The market breadth indicating the overall health of the market was strong. Well, on to global market action. European stocks drifted lower on Wednesday. Key benchmark indices in UK, Germany and France were off by between 0.06% to 0.19%. Asian stocks edged higher on Wednesday. Key benchmark indices in Hong Kong, Indonesia, South Korea, Taiwan, China, Singapore and Japan were off by between 0.12% to 0.97%. Well, time for a short break. More after this break.
अरे हरकू वाह, बीज, कीटनाशक और आज खाद भी। अरे इतना खर्चा कहाँ से?
अरे खर्च की चिंता किसे है? मेरे पास है ये किसान क्रेडिट कार्ड।
कार्ड?
अरे बैंकों द्वारा जारी इस कार्ड से किसान उसकी सीमा तक की रकम कभी भी बैंक से निकलवा सकता है और खेती बाड़ी की सामग्री कभी भी खरीद सकता है।
तो हरकू भैया एक कार्ड मेरे लिए भी।
किसान क्रेडिट कार्ड के लिए नजदीकी बैंक से संपर्क करें और पाएं ढेर सारे लाभ।
मिलावट महामारी बनती जा रही है।
मुझे तो सबसे ज्यादा फिक्र देश के बच्चों और युवाओं की है।
अगर वो हेल्दी नहीं रहेंगे तो भारत स्वस्थ नहीं होगा।
तो क्या अब कुछ नहीं हो सकता?
बिल्कुल हो सकता है। मिलावट से ये जंग सहारा क्यू शॉप लड़ रहा है।
ये जंग आज पूरे भारत को लड़नी है और खासतौर से युवाओं को।
ये जंग क्वालिटी से ही लड़ी जा सकती है
और क्वालिटी का दूसरा नाम है
सहारा क्यू शॉप।
क्यू प्रोडक्ट्स अब भारत के 450 शहरों में 1150 से भी ज्यादा एक्सक्लूसिव सहारा क्यू शॉप्स और चुनिंदा नजदीकी किराना स्टोर्स पे उपलब्ध है।
सहारा क्यू शॉप से जुड़िए,
क्योंकि क्वालिटी हम सबका हक है।
Welcome back. All the cabinet ministers and ministers of state of the new government who did not take charge yesterday assumed their offices today. BJP veteran Venkaiah Naidu has taken charge as the Urban Development and Housing and Poverty Alleviation Minister today. The prominent leader of the Bharatiya Janata Party, Naidu, served as the national president of the party from 2002 to 2004. Venkaiah Naidu also took charge as the Parliamentary Affairs Minister. Speaking on the occasion, Venkaiah Naidu said that they will ensure smooth functioning of the Parliament.
Nothing else, simple. We in this government, NDA, are committed for proper functioning of the Parliament. We want to see that highest standards established by our seniors earlier, they are maintained, and the image and of the Parliament, both houses, also what we call maintain that the Parliament is there to debate, discuss, decide. 3D. The last D, one more D is not required, disturb. So,
Well, Uma Bharti has taken over as the new Water Resources, River Development and Ganga Rejuvenation Minister. She was briefed by ministry officials at the Shram Shakti Bhavan in New Delhi. Speaking on the occasion, Uma Bharti said that the cleaning of Ganga is her foremost priority and she will deliver all that is expected from her.
माननीय मोदी जी ने और मैंने इसका ध्यान रखा कि हम गंगा सफाई शब्द का प्रयोग नहीं करेंगे, क्योंकि हम पापी हैं, हमने अपना पाप डाला है गंगा में। हम अशुद्ध, हमने अपनी अशुद्धि डाली है। नदी तो निर्दोष है, उसकी भूल कहाँ है और हम उसको गंदा करें और हम अपने आप को उद्धारक भगवान की भूमिका में मान रहे। मैं तो मानती हूँ कि हम प्रायश्चित करेंगे अपनी भूलों का, इसलिए बिल्कुल सही शब्द का प्रयोग हुआ है, गंगा पुनर्जीवन, कायाकल्प। मैं समस्त अधिकारियों से, अनुभवी लोगों से, जिन्होंने भी जल के क्षेत्र में काम किया है पूरे भारतवर्ष में, पूरे विश्व में, सभी लोगों ने, हिमालय से लेकर के आसे तो हिमालय, जिनने भी काम किया और भारत से बाहर भी, वो उन सबसे संपर्क करने वाली हूँ तुरंत, और उन सबके अनुभवों के आधार पर हम एक टाइम तय करेंगे कि कब तक हम कर सकते हैं।
Well, Kalraj Mishra has taken charge as the Minister of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises. The veteran BJP leader Kalraj Mishra had served as a cabinet minister in UP, holding the portfolios of public works, medical education and tourism during his tenure from March 1997 to August 2000.
मंत्रालय ऐसा है जो सामान्य जन को भागीदार बनाने में सहयोगी होगा और इस मंत्रालय के अंतर्गत जो इसके उद्देश्य हैं वह आम आदमी को आत्मनिर्भर और स्वावलंबी बनाने में ज्यादा सहयोगी होगा.
Well, differences between Shiv Sena and BJP over portfolio allocation blew over today, with Anand Gate taking charge as the heavy industries minister after party leader Uddhav Thackeray held satisfactory talks with Prime Minister Narendra Modi over the matter. The minister assumed charge of his new responsibility at 11 a.m. this morning.
आज दुनिया भर में कंपटीशन चल रही है. ये ज़माना कंपटीशन का है. जब ये दुनिया भर में कंपटीशन चल रही है तो दुर्भाग्य से ये कहना पड़ रहा है कि इस कंपटीशन में हम पिछड़ रहे हैं. तो जब मैंने इस मंत्रालय का पदभार स्वीकार किया है तो सबसे पहले मेरी ये जिम्मेवारी होगी कि देश भर के इस स्पर्धा में हम भी उतरे, इस कंपटीशन में हम उतरे और जो हमारे कॉम्पिटिटर है उनको कॉम्पीट करें.
Well, Railways Minister Sidhant Gowda today convened a high-level meeting on rail safety as the death toll in the Gorakhpur train mishap has touched 28. He said that the first priorities was the safety and security of passengers. Meanwhile, Union Minister Kalraj Mishra and Minister of State for Railways Manoj Sinha had visited the accident site and the hospitals where at least 31 people are being treated. The two ministers reported back to the Prime Minister at the first meeting of the Union Cabinet yesterday. Well, on to other business stories of the day. Well, foreign institutional investors continue to focus on Indian equities as the markets have seen a net inflow of $2.3 billion in May, taking the total to $7.8 billion so far this year. An HSBC report says that the FII inflows in May were mixed, with investors being selective. In Asia region, investors brought India, preferred Korea over Taiwan and sold Thai equities. Well, as per Australia's International Business Survey, India has figured among the top 10 markets for international business community in Australia. India has also emerged as the most challenging of the top 10 countries to do business with. AIBS 2014 found that India ranked as the 9th most important market currently. Well, homegrown online marketplace Snapdeal will invest 350 crore rupees this fiscal to expand its supply chain infrastructure as it aims for a stronger foothold in India's internet retail market that is estimated to expand 7-fold to $22 billion by 2018. Drug giant GlaxoSmithKline is to have its commercial practices investigated by the Serious Fraud in Office. The British company, which is already facing allegation of bribery in several countries, said it would cooperate fully with the SFO. If the allegation are proved, GSK may have violated both the UK Bribery Act and the US Foreign Corrupt Practices Act. Will India account for the third largest user base on the micro-blogging site Twitter at 18.1 million by the end of this year? According to a research firm eMarketer, in its first forecast of Twitter users worldwide, it said that the Asia Pacific will account for 32.8% of Twitter users, compared with 23.7% in North America in 2014. The research firm said that the growth for Twitter is heavily weighted in emerging markets, with India and Indonesia to see the most consistent growth patterns. Well, Google is to start building its own self-driving cars rather than modifying vehicles built by other manufacturers. The car will have a stop-go button but no controls, steering wheel or pedals. Pictures of Google vehicle shows it looks like a city car with a friendly face, designed to make it seem non-threatening and help people accept self-driving technology. Well, now on to some news from the aviation sector. Well, air travelers can soon expect some improvement in facilities at major Indian airports, with aviation regulator DGCA bringing in a new rule fixing norms to mitigate passenger inconveniences, including creation of an effective mechanism to address grievances. Free provision of automated bogies to transport senior citizens, expectant mothers and especially able passengers, and small trolleys to carry hand baggages to the boarding gates are among a few facilities listed in the new air transport circular brought out by the DGCA. Well, struggling under high expenses and adverse operating conditions, Jet Airways posted its highest ever annual loss of 4129 crore rupees, forcing it to adopt tough measures to lower costs and achieve profitability with a 3-year business plan. The decision, which included appointment of a new CEO, cleaning up of a balance sheet, pruning of overvalued assets, were taken at a board meeting attended by the first time by representatives of the Abu Dhabi-based Etihad Airways. And finally, Qatar Airways has moved all of its operations to a new multi-billion-dollar airport in its capital of Doha. The Middle East airline says that the move to Hamad International Airport marks a milestone for the national carrier, which began operations just 17 years ago. So the key question is, will new reforms be unleashed under Modi administration? Here is a special report. After 30 years, the Indian electorate has given a decisive outcome in the general elections, with a single party crossing the majority mark needed to form a government. The election results gave a clear and strong mandate for the Bharatiya Janata Party-led National Democratic Alliance, which should ensure faster decision-making and enable accelerated implementation of economic reforms. According to the analysts, the focus now shifts to the composition of key cabinet ministries that is likely to be announced by end of May, and the upcoming budget probably by end June or early July, even as the markets are looking forward to the reform agenda. A number of crucial bills are in the parliament which can kickstart the reforms in the country. These are the Securities Law Amendment Bill, the Mines and Minerals Development and Regulation Bill, the Constitution 115th Amendment Bill, also known as the GST Bill, the Forward Contracts Amendment Bill 2010, the Commercial Division of the High Court Bill 2009 in the Lok Sabha, and in the Rajya Sabha, the Prevention of Corruption Amendment Bill 2013 and the Real Estate Bill 2013. One of the concerns emerging from the election results is that the NDA is in a minority in the upper house of the parliament and hence will not be able to pass controversial laws. But still, hopes are on Narendra Modi. But India needs reforms in many other sectors too, like tax, railways, defense, DMIC, PSU bank capitalization, coal mining, power distribution and agriculture. In tax, GST needs to be urgently cleared. Railways need urgent help with huge investments.
Defense needs to be opened up for private sector. DMIC or Delhi Mumbai Industrial Corridor needs to be fast-tracked. PSU bank capitalization is also required as many PSU banks are capital starved. Coal sector reforms need that the Coal India Limited should be denationalized. Power distribution needs dialogue with the state governments. And finally, agriculture requires expanding coal storage, warehouse capacity and incentivizing agri-processing. Business Bureau, DD News.
Well, let's take a look at a report on Prime Minister Narendra Modi's two key officials who are all set to be top advisors to Modi. They are Nipendra Mishra, who is tipped to be the principal secretary to the PM, and Ajit Doval, all set to be the national security advisor.
By finalizing his cabinet and allocating various portfolios, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has accomplished his first big task of government formation. Prime Minister is now focusing on the second big step, that is, choosing his top advisors. Narendra Modi has identified 1967 batch IAS officer Nipendra Mishra as his principal secretary and former chief of intelligence bureau Ajit Doval as the national security advisor. Nipendra Mishra, the Prime Minister Narendra Modi's likely principal secretary, has had a distinguished career as bureaucrat. He has a reputation of top call efficiency and honesty. Mishra held several top positions in Uttar Pradesh and centre, including Principal Secretary to the Chief Minister, Union Telecom Secretary and Chairman of Telecom Regulatory Authority, TROI. Mishra was Principal Secretary to Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Kalyan Singh. In his stint at the centre, Mishra was the chairperson of TROI between 2006 and 2009. This was a time when controversial 2G licenses were given by the then Telecom Minister A. Raja, a move which became cause of major embarrassment to the UPA government of Dr. Manmohan Singh. It was Nipendra Mishra who, as TROI chief, raised the red flag on that controversial move. As Principal Secretary to PM, Mishra is expected to wield tremendous influence in fast-tracking projects close to the heart of the Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Narendra Modi has also shortlisted Ajit Doval as his national security advisor. He will replace Shiv Shankar Menon. Doval, a former intelligence bureau chief, is reputed as one of the most prominent authority on security issues, especially counter-terrorism. In his distinguished career, Doval famously infiltrated into the Mizo National Army, an armed resistance group deep inside Myanmar. During Operation Blue Star, Ajit Doval was right inside the scene of action inside Harmandir Sahib, from where he coordinated the movements of the troops that accomplished the mission. Ajit Doval was the chief negotiator with Taliban during Kandahar IC-814 hijack. A hands-on man on intelligence and counter-terrorism, Doval's inputs may prove crucial in formulation of policies to counter threats from across the borders. Sandeep Singh's report, DD News.
Well, yesterday evening, the government decided to constitute a special investigation team, SIT, to unearth black money stashed in the banks in foreign countries. The decision was taken during the first cabinet meeting of the government.
In its first cabinet meeting headed by Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Tuesday evening in New Delhi, the centre formed a high-profile special investigation team in black money case. The SIT would be headed by a former Supreme Court Judge M.B. Shah, and RAW and other chief investigation agencies of the country will also be a part of it.
विदेशों में जमा ब्लैक मनी के बारे में सार्थक कार्रवाई करने के लिए हमने सुप्रीम कोर्ट के आदेश के आलोक में SIT को कॉन्स्टिट्यूट किया है.
Recently, the Supreme Court had asked the centre to constitute a SIT to probe black money stashed in foreign banks. The Supreme Court directive came on the appeal of petitioner and prominent lawyer Ram Jethmalani. The apex court had also asked centre to provide all the details of documents and names of Indian account holders in LGT Bank, Liechtenstein, given to India by Germany to the petitioners. But the last government had filed a review petitioner against it. Ram Jethmalani has expressed satisfaction over setting up of SIT.
वो जो आज उन्होंने काम किया है कि पहला काम जो किया है वो ये कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट के हुक्म का तामील हुआ है और SIT बर्पा हुई है, मगर इसमें बहुत कुछ करना है. अभी भी उसमें सुधार लाना है, उनको एडिशनल पावर्स वगैरह देने हैं, उसके लिए कुछ कानून की कार्रवाई करना पड़ेगा. अच्छी बात है, पहला स्टेप जो हुआ है उसके लिए मैं मोदी जी को धन्यवाद देना चाहता हूं.
The issue of black money was raised powerfully in the past several years by several organizations. Yoga Guru Baba Ramdev was at the forefront of this campaign. As per an estimate, black money to the tune of around 125 lakh crore rupees is being stashed in banks abroad. Ramdev has also hailed the decision.
मोदी सरकार को, आदरणीय जेटली जी को, जो उन्होंने हमसे वादा किया था, उस वादे पर वो खरे उतरे हैं और उसके लिए हमारी बहुत बहुत बधाई है, शुभकामनाएं हैं। हमें उम्मीद है कि लाखों करोड़ का काला धन जो देश के बाहर जमा है और देश के भीतर जमा है, वो देश को मिलेगा, देश के विकास में लगेगा, देश की गरीबी, बेरोजगारी, महंगाई से दूर होगी।
The government has struck a right note by constituting the SIT. Its functioning and the extent to which it is successful in unearthing the huge amount of black money stashed abroad will be watched very carefully by people. Bureau Report, DD News.
Well, that's all in this edition of Business Wrap. Thanks for watching. Namaskar.
बिजनेस रैप was brought to you by श्री अल्ट्रा रेड ऑक्साइड, भारत का एकमात्र जंग रोधक सीमेंट।